Oh, it is so cold this time of year in England.
Why are we English?
Oh, where could we go that's hot and sunny and where I don't have to wear a hat and scarf?
Egypt?
Is it hot now?
Starting to get cold. Bit further afield.
Yeah, where could we go?
Maldives?
Oh, I would love to go there, but it's expensive, isn't it?
It is.
It's very expensive. Oh, where else?
Australia?
Oh, Australia. It's really warm there, isn't it? And they have kangaroos.
They do. Kangaroos are pretty cool.
Yeah, and you can throw a boomerang.
Let's go.
Yes, Australia.
Let's go down under. They might speak English in Australia, but there are a few words, particularly slang words, that differ quite a lot between British English and Australian English.
That's right. Now, I know that Leila's been there before, so I'm going to ask Leila's help with some of them. But not only that, we also have an expert helping us out with learning all about Australian slang. And her name is the fantastic English with Adriana. And you might have seen her channel. She is from Down Under, she's from Australia, and she's going to help us talk through some of this tricky slang that us Brits just don't get.
Right, so we're going to go through the top 10 Australian slang words, just in case any of you decide to take a visit.
So Leila, I've been reading in my guide to Australia that in Australia there's something you can eat called a sanger.
Sanger?
I'm thinking this is a kind of really hot curry, like tonight I'm having a sanger.
No, you know what it probably is? A sausage.
Oh, it could be, like a sanger sausage.
Yeah.
Or maybe like it's a past tense of sang, like she sanger.
Wow, they really speak like that in Australia?
Adriana, help us out.
That's hilarious, ladies. No, a sanger is not a sausage. It's not a curry. A sanger is a sandwich. Somebody asks you in Australia if you want a sanger, they're asking you, do you want a sandwich? So sanger is sandwich in Australia.
Number 2, another slang word in Australian English is Savo. Savo, any ideas, Sabrah?
Savo. Is it a name? Like he's called Savo?
No, think about it, no.
No,
it's with an
I
R.
don't know.
Savo.
No, don't know.
Okay, if I say, okay, I'll see you Savo.
Saturday?
No!
No?
This afternoon.
Ah, so Arvo is afternoon.
Yeah,
so
they like
this Arvo.
They like to put O's on the end of things in Australia.
Right. See you this Arvo, mate.
Oh, wow.
Is that
She's
all
got
right?
the accent too.
Ladies, if you're heading down under and if you don't know what the Savo is, well, you're going to have some issues communicating because us Aussies love adding O to many words in the English language. Other common words like which we love adding O to could be afternoon, arvo, ambulance, ambo, bottle shop, bottle-o, service station, servo, garbage man, garbo, alcoholic, alco, smoke break, smoko, aggressive, aggro, compensation payment, compo. We even do it to names. A few examples of this being used with names could be Dave, Davo, and Pete, Pedo.
You know what I find really confusing, Leila? Is Australians talk all the time about going outside for a barbie. Right. Now, are they talking about playing with dolls? Because they seem to be quite obsessed with the Barbie doll. And why would you do that outside?
I would have thought Australians would be more G.I. Joe.
Yeah, they would be, wouldn't they?
Very outdoorsy.
So what is this Barbie all about? Do you know?
I've no idea.
Adriana, we're going to ask for your help again.
Ladies, that's hilarious. If somebody's inviting you for a Barbie, they're inviting you for a barbecue. And a very common phrase you can hear very often in Australia is snags on the Barbie. Snags, these are sausages, and Barbie is barbecue. So if somebody's inviting you to come over to their place for snags on the Barbie, they're inviting you to come over to have sausages on the barbecue.
Now, another place that Australians talk about going is to the bush.
Yeah. Is it this to one singular bush? Because in British English,
Yeah.
what's a bush, Leila?
A bush is like a small shrub.
Yeah, like you would say, I have a rose bush in my garden. It's a singular thing. So I don't understand why they all want to go to one bush.
Adriana.
Ladies, we don't all want to go to one bush. In Australia, the outback, the countryside, is very different in comparison to many other different countries. These rural and undeveloped areas in Australia are quite different to what you ladies are most likely used to in the UK and in Europe. It's common to see bushes, and for this reason, we say the bush. We're not all heading to that one same bush, but we use the bush or the outback to refer to going out in the countryside. So if somebody's telling you that they're going out to the bush, they're going out to an undeveloped area in Australia. So somewhere where there's not a lot of vegetation, there may be some bushes, but we're not all going to the same bush.
Right, now number 5 is probably the most important word for you to learn if you're going to Australia. Thongs.
Do they like wearing thongs there?
Well,
Is that because they've all got beach bodies and they want to go on the beach?
Yeah, they wear thongs on the beach quite a lot actually.
It's a bit rude. It's a bit rude talking about thongs all the time.
Now in British English, a thong is underwear.
Yes, very
Okay.
small piece of underwear.
Yes, you wouldn't see your grandmother in a thong. Well, I
would
hope
not
you would
want
not.
to see that, no.
But in Australian English, thongs are actually flip-flops. In English, we call these flip-flops, but in Australia, they are called thongs. And when I visited Australia, when I was much younger, I was shocked.
Were you?
When they were talking about wearing thongs on the beach, I was, what?
Yes.
I plan on wearing a very sensible bikini.
Yeah, so if you take a visit, guys, remember, a thong in Australia, it's nothing rude. It is a shoe. It is the flip-flop.
That's hilarious, ladies. Definitely, if you're ever heading down under, you have to know the difference between thongs and flip-flops. In Australia, we describe thongs as the shoes we wear on our feet, and we wear them quite often in Australia due to the warm climate.
So I've been watching Neighbours a lot recently, and I love the TV show
Neighbours is good.
Yeah, and in this, they're always talking about places being chockers.
Oh.
Do they mean that it's full of chocolate? Because if so,
I wanna
that's
go.
awesome, and I can't wait to go. Do you think it's that? Chockers?
I'm sure it is. It
Yeah,
must be. Like a
this-
chocolate bar.
Yeah, like, oh, let's go and get some chockers.
Yeah, we should have
Yeah.
chocolate bars. Is that what it is, Adriana?
Ladies, Neighbours is a great Australian TV show to be watching for Aussie slang in use. But when you're watching it and you hear them saying that a place is chockers, doesn't mean there's a lot of chocolate there. It means that the place is full. This is a common term that we use to describe that a place is overcrowded. So if a place is full of a lot of people and can't get in, then we use a term to say it's chockers. The place is chockers. I don't want to go there, it's chockers.
Number 7, Ripper. I have no idea.
I have no idea.
Ripper. Like the Grim Reaper.
Or Jack the Ripper?
Ah.
But he lived in England a long time ago. What could be Ripper?
Ladies, Jack the Ripper, Green the Ripper, no. In Australian English, we use Ripper to describe that something is fantastic. If something's the best of the best, in Australian English, we use the term Ripper. For example, the movie I saw last night, it was Ripper.
The other word I've heard a lot recently is pom. Like, so-and-so's a pom.
They called me a pom when I went to Australia.
What do you think?
I thought it meant pretty.
Yeah, well, you would think that, wouldn't you?
Seemed logical.
Adriana.
No. Okay, maybe they were trying to say that you were pretty, but in this context, a pom, we use this in Aussie slang to describe somebody from the UK. This is 100% Australian. I haven't actually heard this being used by non-Australians. This is a term in Australia we use to describe British people. So that's why people were calling you a pom, because we use it to describe somebody from the UK.
Right, number 9. I think
Getting
feeling
hot.
hot. It is.
Yeah.
Really
I think
warm.
I just saw a... Oh, is that a kangaroo?
Oh, and there's a koala. Number 9. Maccas. Maccas.
Is that like how we say knackered? Maybe it's tired. We say
I'm
knackered for
Maccas.
tired. I'm knackered.
No.
Do you think
Maccas.
so?
People used to say they were going to have a Maccas when I was there.
Could it be have a Macca's? I think we need Adriana.
Because McDonald's is too long for us to say. We have Macca's. Macca's in Australia is McDonald's. If you're going to Macca's, then you are going to McDonald's. It's very common. I rarely ever say McDonald's. It's very common for us in Australia to say, I'm going to Macca's.
Right, number 10, we have got chuck.
Chuck?
Chuck.
As in like chuck?
No.
As in to throw?
No.
Like to really throw?
No, that's chuck in English. No, this is chuck.
Chuck. Chuck. But they say that in the north of England, like, you're right, chuck.
Oh, yeah, they do.
Yeah.
But no, not the same.
No?
No.
Okay, Adriana, I'm sorry. One last time, can we get your help? What is chuck?
Ladies, chook is a chicken, and we use this term quite often in Australian English as a nice insult. Okay, you're probably wondering, what do I mean by a nice insult? We use the phrase silly chook when somebody's done something really silly and really stupid, and the only thing you can do is laugh. This is quite commonly used by many Australians to say, you silly chook. It's a nice insult. They're not trying to be mean. They're just trying to nicely laugh about it with you.
Well, I hope you've enjoyed your time here with us in Australia.
Thank you so much, Adriana, for joining us and for guiding us through some of this tricky Australian slang.
So although we do speak English in many different countries, America, Australia, England, you will find variations in vocabulary, particularly colloquial language and slang.
That's right. So join us for more Love English lessons, and you can look at our lesson on British slang.
Oh, that's a good one.
Click through to go and watch that now, guys. Remember, if you like this video, then subscribe.
And don't forget to find us on Facebook,
Snapchat,
Instagram,
and Twitter.
Later, mate.